Fitted brand new wheel bearings to the rear swing arm. It's a double bearing system, so they literally piggybacked one against the other. And there's a C-clip on the other side to hold them in. So yeah, that was a fairly painless job. The bearings went in fairly smoothly. I cleaned up the bore first and then used this socket to drive them home so that the only pressure is on the outside of the rim, and they tapped in nicely. New bearings and seal for the front wheel. Tomorrow's job, fit the tyres. So I've started the basic assembly while it's still hanging from the ceiling. I have fitted the engine mount, which is tucked in here, and I have fitted the stand so that when I take it down off the ceiling it's got something to rest on. I've now got the yoke fitted, and that's tensioned up to where it should be, with no wobble or slack. So I think next we're going to look at the forks, see if we can get them installed. Forks are fitted, and now I've got to fit the front mudguard. Unfortunately, that is necessary before fitting the front wheel. After that, I think we're going to have to look at the engine and gearbox. Otherwise the whole thing's going to sit a bit funny, I think. Making some progress. The front wheel and disc brake are on. The mudguard's a bit of a fight because it's a crappy design. You effectively have to fit it before you put the forks on, but you only learn that the hard way. But yeah, other than that, it is slowly coming together. She's on one of her wheels, so technically a unicycle. I would like to get the engine on, but I think the handlebars might make a difference. We'll see. End of day one on the reassembly, and she's coming together. This is kind of the easy mechanical stuff. I'm going to get a bit more stuck into it, hopefully either tomorrow afternoon or possibly Sunday. Obviously we've got a lot of electrics to install. Nimbus is keen to get going. What do you think, Nimbus? Meow. You excited? Okay. Nimbus is excited. So there we go. Yeah, coming together. I'm pleased with what we've done today. Yeah, I just hope I haven't overdone it on the green, but hopefully by the time things like the seat bucket have gone in, it will start to come together and look more like the bike it's meant to be. End of another long afternoon. It's been a day of quietly fitting bits and pieces. We've got the hydraulic front brake fitted, the grips, the indicators on the bars, the headlamp, and then at the rear we've got the rear lamp and indicators. They're all assembled and fitted. Carburetors in. The wiring loom is loosely draped into place, and I think that's everything I've done this afternoon. I've only been at it, I suppose, for 3 hours or so. So yeah, so bit by bit it's coming together. It's just a case of plugging away at each individual bit at a time. I'm slightly disorganised with this build. A couple of things I haven't done that I've done in the past, and that is bag and tag every item, which means I do lose some time looking for bits and pieces. The other thing is I haven't done like with the other bikes, I've restored every single component and then reassembled it at the end. I've been a bit lazy again with this one because mentally this is just a cheap, quick project, which isn't that quick. And I'm having to refurb as I go. So for example, I've got some of the light switches I had to repaint. They're hanging up drying. So things like that slow me down. But it's all good fun. We'll get there. Hopefully within a week or so, fingers crossed, we'll be back on the road. Another long, busy day. We've got an awful lot done today. Pretty much everything's back on the bike that needs to be back on the bike. I've ordered some new hardware for the case down below, but it's got the old hardware in there for the time being. Yeah, we're looking good. I think all that remains now is the seat needs recovering. That's a separate project almost in itself. Fuel, battery, and yeah, check out the system, make sure everything works. But yeah, coming together. I'm kind of looking forward to riding it now. Okay, it is the evening after last evening where I proved myself to be a complete fool. I connected the battery up, switched on the bike, and nothing happened. I had power feed to all the sections, brakes, etc., but nothing was working. And this is a classic example of don't work on things when you're tired, because I ended up pulling pretty much half the bike apart, pulling into the electrics, using the multimeter, getting very frustrated with it. Only when I took a half-hour break, came back out at 10 o'clock at night, did I realise that I had forgotten to put on one of the earth leads. I mean, how stupid is that? I had two of them on there, but the key one was still down there in the mess somewhere. 2.5 hours, the bike's in bits again, and I feel like a complete idiot. So, yeah, moral of the story, don't do electrics when you're tired, because you'll end up making a fool of yourself. Anyway, tonight's job is to put back everything that I took apart last night, because we were pretty much in a position to road test it. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight, because the weather's a bit crap. But anyway, I'm going to put it all back together, and hopefully we'll have something that looks like a bike again. Okay, so back together now. I had issues with the rear tail light. The earth on it was Chinese and was intermittent, so I've taken all that apart and resoldered the earth onto the rear tail light. That's now working. I need to put the floor into it now, but I'm just going to do a quick electronics test on everything. Key on. We'll start with horn. Start with lights. Yeah, we've got running lights, and the console lights are on. Low beam, check. High beam, check. So that's working. Check the tail light. Tail light is working. Brake light. Brake lights work. Indicators. Rear left. Front left. Front right. Rear right. And then we just need to check, see if we can crank. There's no fuel in it yet. Yeah, she cranks. Good. Right, so we're happy then that the electrics seem to be working. Don't know if we've got spark yet. I'll put fuel in it in a moment, but I want to get the floor in, and then we'll try the running of the engine. Right, let's start the motor cool down. That did not go to plan. Guess who forgot to plug the coil in? Let's give it another go, if I haven't already flooded it. Are you going to watch, Maggie? What an idiot. Yep, simply had unplugged the coil last night to while I was going through the electrics to find my earthing issue, and totally forgot to plug it back in again. Simple fix though, we like those. She's alive. First test ride. A few little adjustments to make. The idle speed needs adjustment. I need to tighten the headstock slightly. It's still a little bit rattly when you brake. And obviously I need to remake the seat cover. I have some fabric, it's just a case of doing it. But other than that, she rides really nicely. I stopped at the fuel station to pick up fuel, and yeah, I got a lot of people come over and talk about it. I think she's different enough to be interesting. So yeah, very promising. Very promising. I'm enjoying it. I can smell she's a little bit rich at the moment, so that needs looking at. But yeah, different. Pleased with the progress. So I'm going to spend a bit of time getting it right. Spend a bit of time doing the seat cover. I'm going to get some name stickers made for it, and then we'll do a final video, a finished video, and then we'll call it quits. But yeah, pleased with that. Very pleased. She looks a little bit like one of the early Lambrettas, which have the sort of naked frame. Obviously not quite as ugly as this, but it's got that kind of feel to it.